of Cards podcast, the show where we break down the art of creative real estate investing. Join us as we dive into the world of real estate with insider tips and tricks for making your investments go further. From buying with no money down to flipping properties for profit, we've got you covered. Plus, stay tuned for expert guest speakers who will share their knowledge and experience in this ever-changing market. So grab a seat and get ready to learn the secrets to success in real estate investing. And now, from Alaska to New York, your hosts, Chris James and Jesse Stanton.
Let's go. Welcome, one and all. Guys, thank you for being here. Happy Saturday. Thank you, Haley. Appreciate you. Ken Wilson, thanks for being here, bro. I love you guys. This is awesome. Dude, I look forward to this every freaking Saturday. It is the highlight. It is the peak. It is the de la resistance to my Saturdays. I absolutely love being here, guys. Thank you. I want to take a second and express my gratitude to you guys. Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate you. As you can see, it is just me today. Chris is out here slaying it. Chris has his hands full doing some really amazing things on the back. And so he's kind of holding down the fort here. So you guys get to hang out with me for a second today. So thank you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you all for being here. Ms. Your Labella. Dude, Luke. Thank you, bro. You know what, dude? I went to the gym this morning and, man, I had a good pump. It was a really great morning for me. Today's been a fantastic day so far, and I've got date night planned with my wife tonight. And I get home from the gym, and I get in the shower, and I hop out of the shower, and I'm kind of perusing through my clothes. And you know what's funny? So my wife and I went to Hawaii about a year ago. It was last April. And while we were there, of course, we bought some Hawaii shirts, right? I can't dance, guys. I can't dance. Can't sing, but you know, I'm gonna put myself out there. And so we bought these Hawaii shirts. The kids got some. They look absolutely adorable in them. They got some blue Hawaii shirts, and the girls got matching dresses to coincide with that. So they wear them to church sometimes. They look amazing. They look fantastic. And we get home from Hawaii. We get back to Alaska from Hawaii. And my wife asked me, like, of course, this shirt just like went up into my closet. Don't know where it went. Haven't seen it in almost a year. And probably a week ago, probably, my wife was doing some deep cleaning. She was throwing a bunch of stuff out. She was going through my uniforms that I haven't worn in a very long time. And so we're kind of getting rid of some things, putting some things in deep storage. And she's like, what do you want me to do with your Hawaii shirt? And I was like, dude, I will never wear that shirt again. I was like, just toss it out. Just toss it out. And to be honest with you, I thought she did until this morning. And I'm staring. It's not 9 feet of snow anymore, but there's some snow on the ground up here in Alaska. My driveway's cleared, but I still have, 3 feet, 4 feet maybe in my, what's it called, yard. So it's melting, but I hopped out of the shower, and as I was getting dressed this morning, I was like, man, you know what? I'm going to wear my Hawaii shirt today. It's going to be a fantastic day. And if I can't be in Hawaii, I will bring Hawaii to me. So that's what we're doing today, guys. We'll see if my wife lets me get away with wearing the shirt for date night tonight. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, thank you for noticing the shirt, Luke. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it, bro. Freddie Rivas, good to see you, brother. Thank you for being here. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. No, I appreciate all you guys being here. Thank you so much. A big dude, there was, man, when I was in Hawaii last year, there was a big storm. Like these alarms were going off, and they started going off at like 2 or 3 in the morning. And so I went out to my balcony, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, man, I don't know what's about to happen here. Obviously, this is all new territory for me, so I didn't even know what to expect. Nobody else really seemed to be minding, though. I don't know if that alarm was just telling people, just saying, hey, just so you know, we're getting some wind here, or what that was. But eventually it went off, and I went back to sleep and forgot about it until now. So, but yeah, I did, man. It was awesome. Was there for 2 weeks, got a lot of things done. And actually I spent a lot of those 2 weeks. It was really neat in Hawaii. I spent a lot of those 2 weeks putting together the coaching program that you guys know as the Growth Co. It's been a phenomenal year. It's been absolutely amazing. We have a cohort currently going through it right now, doing some really amazing things. I mean, literally 10xing their business in as little as 4 weeks. They've only been in this program for 4 weeks. They're already hiring people to work directly underneath them to oversee all the entire operations. Actually, one of my students had 90 people reach out to him over the course of 48 hours to work for him, wanting to come in and work for him. So it was really, really awesome to be able to see from where that started when I was in Hawaii to just where it is now, the results people are getting. It's awesome, man. So thank you. That's what this whole thing is all about, guys. This whole thing about being an entrepreneur, wanting to change your family life, the dynamic that you grew up with, change a lot of those limiting beliefs around money, what we're capable of. I know when I grew up, people always referred to money as if it was just an evil thing. It was a bad thing. And as I've gotten onto this side of the road, I see what money can do. I see how much it helps people. I see how much it changes people's lives. I mean, when we talk about, storms that happen, when hurricanes come through, rebuilding those cities, helping move people, getting people the resources that they need, water and food and shelter. None of that comes for free. And I wanted to, this is going to be a big ask. I've never asked anything like this before, but this is what this is what this whole thing's all about. So I'm going to put it out there. We have an amazing individual on our team. She is part of our team in multiple businesses. She lives in the Philippines, and she is such a beautiful and wonderful person. In multiple of our businesses, we couldn't have done and served and helped the people get to where they want to be without her. She has played such an integral role in our business and the success of individuals coming in and working with us and getting mentorship under us and all that kind of stuff. It's been amazing. I just received news this morning that her mother has passed. She suffered a stroke. It was completely unforeseen. And she passed away this morning. And she's asking for if there's anybody that can help. I think her medical bills are like $3,500, which in the Philippines is a lot of money. It's a lot. So I'm just going to ask if there's anybody that's willing, even if it's just $1, if there's anybody that would be willing to help out, it would be sincerely and humbly appreciated. If you guys would love to be part of that, just shoot me a DM and I will get with you guys later today. I don't know if she's even had time to put together any kind of a website or anything for raising funds. But if there's anybody that would be willing to do that, please send me the link. Would really appreciate that. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for being here. That's what this whole journey is all about. We're here to change our lives. We're here to serve other people. And money can do some really powerful things. And it's been neat to be able to be part of that process and to see the impact that it can have when an abundant group of individuals, come together. We can really do and accomplish some amazing things, and we can change lives. So thank you guys. Thank you. Dude, Luke, thank you, bro. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate that. Today, we have a couple amazing guests that we're going to be bringing on. They're sitting backstage right now. And you guys, I think I see one of them with a bong. You guys getting ready? You guys getting ripped for the show? No, I'm just kidding. They're not sitting there smoking. These guys are amazing individuals. They're a couple of best friends of mine, and we've worked together for a while now. And they've got a very unique set of skills that I don't see a lot of people talking about. So especially if you are an integrator, or if you guys are needing an integrator, then you are not going to want to miss today's episode. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for being active in the comments. If you guys have questions for either of these individuals, please throw them out here so we can address them. I want to make sure, as you guys know, that's the entire reason this podcast exists, is to serve you guys, to get you guys the information you need, the contacts you need, the resources that you need to make sure that next week, your business, not even next week, today, leaving this live, your business is already in a much more elevated and propped up position than it was when you jumped into this meeting. So we've got two amazing, phenomenal, and beautiful individuals. Come on down, guys. We got, you know what? What's going on, guys? We got James Hostert and Jimmy Neutron.
What's going on, guys?
It's an alias, yeah? One of you guys, James, we can't hear you. And Jimmy Neutron, I think you got some pretty rad background static. Like white noise, like it's like a humming noise. I think that's you. Oh, there it goes. Oh, it's going on and off. There it is. Nope. Still there. Maybe it cuts off when I talk. That's what it is. You guys are awesome, man. We'll get this figured out. Angel says double trouble. I love that. Cool. Well, James Hostert, what's going on, buddy? How you doing, man? Dude, you look fantastic. Did you go to the gym this morning? I still can't hear you. What's going on?
I wonder if he's muted. Is my humming gone, by the way?
All right. Can you hear me now?
Michelle articulated it pretty good. It sounds like a video game.
Can you hear me now?
It's gone. It's gone. I can hear you now.
Okay, cool. Maybe it was your side, Jesse. I don't know.
It probably was my side. I'm just over here. I'm just the visionary in this entire spider web of things, man. I really don't know anything. Actually, as a matter of fact, so just so you guys know, so we got James Hostert, Jimmy Neutron, aka James Zeger. We got the James guys. And then we got Chris James. That's like James. I connected with two other individuals this past week that we're going to be working with as well. Garrett James and Evan James. And I'm like, dude, I'm literally the odd man out. You know how like actors and rock stars, they'll have like stage names or you know something like that. Like I'm just gonna have to go with Jesse James, dude. I'm just gonna have to change mine. You guys call me Jesse James, and that way I'm not the odd man out here.
Yes.
A quad going.
Man, the kids, yeah. No, Jesse James. I think that'd be a good one.
Yo, thanks, bro. Thanks. I'm just taking after you, just following your guys' lead here. You know.
Well, when it comes to the technicality side of things, that's all Jimmy Neutron down here. I'm not the computer guy, so it took me a minute to figure out why my mic wasn't working. But no, I did not hit the gym. I give myself the weekends off.
Oh, do you? Good for you.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, I couldn't tell.
I know.
You're like the next Arnold, bro. You're like every day. You're like you're who I aspire to be.
Yeah. That's what 13 or 14 years of working out every day does. Well, not every day, because as you just heard, I don't work out on the weekends. So
for those of you guys who don't know, James Hostert and myself, we used to be stationed together back at Luke Air Force Base in Phoenix, and he and I both got promoted together. Now, when you promote to a certain rank, when you promote to E5, they send you to something called Airman Leadership School. So that's where you officially graduate from being kind of like you got the lower level down here and you're at the top of the lower level, and you're graduating from the top of the lower level to the bottom of the mid-tier level. So he and I met at school when we were learning how to be leaders. And right from the get-go, I mean, we were BFFs. We were making music. We were writing tunes. I mean, I'm going to have to dig through some of those recordings, man. We got some really badass recordings of me playing guitar and then you singing. Because I can't sing. Actually, you know what? James, I don't know if you saw it. After all this time, I've been in music. I mean, I love music. I like heavily. That's what I love about the three of us. We're all into like the same music. But I love music. I have been involved with music for 25 years. And for the life of me, like I could never sing. I could never forget. I can play guitar extremely well. I can play by ear. I can pick things up. But man, I could never figure out the singing part of things. And you are such a naturally born and talented and gifted singer, dude. I don't know how you did it. It was awesome. Jamming with you and writing all those tunes. And I found those videos a few months ago. I'm gonna have to go back and share them with everybody. Would you guys like to see those? Dude, like seriously, like James, I mean, we were doing like some 5-finger death punch, man. Like James it's literally like Fergie and Jesus. Like he is the songbird of our generation. But I finally got up the guts to record something last night and I posted it on my Facebook because I was like, man, like I really want to continue like just making massive, massive strides in my growth and my willingness to be uncomfortable. And in terms of business goes, I'm like, man, I have done a pretty good job of that. And it's like, what else could I do? Oh, well, I could sing in public and post that. So that's what I ended up doing. If you haven't seen it yet, you'll have to go look at it and tell me how terrible I did. But bro, for everybody else who doesn't know you, like fill in the gaps here between how you and I met, the rock and music that we made, and where you are now. Like, what are you doing?
So, yeah, I'm actually so Carlin Hoster is one of Jesse's partners when it comes to the Growth Co. But me and Jesse, as he said, we met back in like 2013, 2014. It was back when sang a lot. I used to sing every single day. As you get busier, though, you find yourself a little bit harder to maintain that singing life. But me and Jesse have just kind of stayed in touch. And so back in, when was it? I think it was 2021. We had just bought this house that I'm actually in right now. And no, I think it was actually 2020. I think it was 2020. Holy buckets, it's been 2.5, 3 years. But we just bought this house and the AC exploded. And not only did the AC explode, it exploded while I was working on it. So,
oh my God.
Long story short, you got an AC compressor, which holds a lot of, you got your Freon and all that junk that goes into those. I'm not an AC guy, but I was shooting it with my multimeter because I'm in the military, right? So I have a background in shooting electronics and aircraft, rocket science. Okay, so rocket science, I'm good at that. I don't know anything about home science. So I was just doing my best to fix this AC. Well, long story short, shot the AC compressor, shot the capacitor, all that fun stuff, all that, the nerd stuff.
Yep.
Walked inside to get a new battery for my multimeter, and then all of a sudden a loud bang happens in the backyard. This is all relevant because that loud bang happened, and if I was actually in the area, Freon is a deadly toxin that would have killed you, right? So besides that, it made me rethink my life completely. So then I got, we needed money for these ACs because ACs ain't cheap. So we, it's like, Carlin was like, I want to do real estate. And I was like, oh boy, here we go. Here we go. This road. Okay. So I was like, this dude, Jesse, that I've been, I met back in 2013. He's doing big stuff. He's buying properties for the price of a cup of coffee. You reach out to him because I don't know how he does it, but you need to be talking to him. So we got on the phone, talked a little bit about it. That led us into real estate. And then, fast forward about 6 months, we've got our first 3 deals done and we've joined sub 2 and we're just, we're trying to make a life out of it. We did really good in the wholesale business, but the wholesale business just wasn't bringing me fulfillment. It really wasn't. It's not my thing. I'm a closer. I love talking to people. I love helping people. I think love helping people is the right word for that. I wouldn't say talking to people because I get a lot of I got cussed at a lot whenever I was close. So I didn't really like that, but I liked helping people.
That's so weird. James didn't like getting yelled at from people. That's so
not
unhumanistic.
But we did that because we thought we had to. We thought that was the way to make money. That we thought that was the way we were going to get enough money to buy. It wasn't. It was not. It was not. It took a lot of time. It was, it was sporadic. You get your deals, you get a monthly, it didn't really do nothing for us. So I learned that I'm having a military background, still being in the military actually. That I am very efficient when it comes to managing programs, managing processes, managing the overall aspect of just, I guess, managing assets. And so that was something that I enjoyed. And Jesse and Chris gave me the opportunity to come on and start buying properties with them, and haven't looked back ever since. I mean, I had a goal all of last year. I just wanted to buy, 10 properties. That's it. I just wanted 10 properties. If we're going to be completely real, that was the 10X version of the one property that I just wanted. And it just took finding, just aligning with, you and Chris, finding out how we could work together. And we, almost 10X the 10X. So
you did, man.
It was unbelievable. And, it's something that now we want to, we want 150 million X that. Just absolutely go to the freaking moon. We want to Shiba this thing. So I'm an integrator. Well, I'm starting to think I'm an integrator just because of my goals and how I hold myself together. I'm a little bit better at processes than I am at the visionary aspect. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. I mean, I'm not going to keep here talking all day. We got another amazing person here that I would love to give some time to.
I love that, brother. Well, awesome. Well, thank you for that introduction, man. Dude, it's been a wild ride. It has been absolutely insane, and I'm just so grateful and humbled for your friendship, and as well as Jimmy Neutron's, man. You guys have been integral in my life, in my relationships. I mean, not even just professionally speaking, like personally, like I legit do. Like I love for both of you. I care for both of you. You guys have amazing families. You guys are doing amazing things. I'm humbled at the opportunity just to be here with you, man. So thank you both. James, AKA Jimmy Neutron, my man.
Yeah,
dude, I remember the first couple times you and I started connecting, man. And dude, like the way that your mind works, the way that your mind sees things and executes is unbelievable. I mean, even to this day, I mean, here we are. How long has it been since we've been working together?
9 months.
Good
9 months.
golly, Miss Molly. You would think that I would have grown closer to your level by then, and I have not. I have failed in that respect, man. Every time James and I get on a phone and or on a Zoom or something, and he's doing something, I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, like I can't even comprehend. And he's not even using like long words and like big language. Like he's talking like he should be. And I still can't figure it out, man. Like what you do and what your mind does and what you like, I see where your capabilities are, and it's just absolutely insane, dude. But for everybody else who doesn't know, tell us a little bit about your background. Like, how did you get started into this? Like, I'm consistently having to be like, James, I need you to, like, at first it was like, talk to me like I'm 6. Now I'm like, dude, I need you to talk to me like I'm 2, man. Like, I'm so far beyond. Like, dude, you know what's funny? In 2009, when smartphones started coming out and being a little bit more relevant, my mom used to text me for years, man, for like 5-6 years. And she would say, hey, Jesse, can you help me figure out how to put a picture in a text message and text it? She doesn't sound like that. But you know how annoying that was? So me, I feel like there's so many ways where I am now that to you. I feel like
I used to think that way about a lot of people, honestly. But those thoughts have kind of gone away. Now that I actually see the need for some of the stuff that James and I do, and some of the stuff that we're getting ready to bring to the table. But to take that back, I actually come from a culinary background. Since high school, that's what I've done. I've been in the kitchen, been through all levels of management in that space. And then pushing into doing any of this, was it right when COVID hit? Haley had said, "Hey, we're gonna switch to real estate." I'm like,
what a pivot, dude! From Gordon Ramsay to freaking Jimmy Neutron, man.
Yeah. Well, right now
Gordon
it's kind of
Ramsay
funny
to
'cause
Donald
in the
Trump.
house-
You're like, this is insane.
In the household, I'm the personal chef and the business executor. But yeah, when COVID had started, I saw a downturn in that industry, and Haley's like, "We're going into real estate." And I was like, "I have no skill set. I don't even know what to do. I don't want to go through more training, get licensing, and all of that." She's like,
Sure.
"No, well." She was talking to, at that time, she had met Carlin through Mom's Facebook group. And I guess
Through
they
a
were
mom's
talking-
Facebook group.
Yes, through a
That's
Mom's
how we all
Facebook
got
group.
connected.
That's how
Was
all of
because
us
Carlin and
here-
Haley met on a mom's Facebook group.
Yes.
This is insane.
And I
dude.
believe
Wow.
Haley made a post about something about like working from home, and Carlin had commented about wholesaling and real estate, and we kind of went down the rabbit hole of finding pay sub 2, going through all of that. I still wasn't convinced. To me, it was like, it's a scam. It's not all it's cracked up to be. So I was like, whatever, got to make the wife happy. Let's do what she says. Started getting into it, started building that relationship with James and Carla, and went headstrong in sub 2, started building some relationships there. It had its ups and its downs. James, Carlin, and I, and Haley as well, actually got together with a couple people. We put together a team for wholesaling. Disintegrated pretty quickly, honestly. It got to a point, Carlin and I were both like, yeah, we don't really know if this aspect is for us. Kind of backed away from real estate for a little bit. I went back into some of the W-2 setting. And I realized to myself, like, this isn't where I see my life. This isn't where I see my life going. This isn't, I have so much more potential than this. Getting back into real estate, I saw that you had posted a Calendly, and I'm like, I gotta jump on the call with this guy. I gotta start putting myself in the room with some of these bigger people. And me personally, after leaving that conversation, it was a little awkward. It was an awkward conversation. But that conversation has spiraled into where everything is today. I was able to take a look at myself. I was able to take a look at some of the things that I was doing. You gave some unsolicited advice that a lot of other people have given me, but for some reason, you saying it and it being part of that conversation, it clicked. So didn't really get full force back into real estate, but we then had a follow-up conversation about a month ago for, everything that you guys have going on with the Growth Co. And a lot of my role was just stuff that I did in a past time. Growing up, I was always intrigued with computers and, different softwares, different systems and processes. Never thought that it would be something that would be income generating. So we tested the field a little bit, and then we went full force into that. We went full force into another business, and now James and I are full circle back to another business. And it's all spiraled from the Facebook group.
Dude, that is insane, man. That is really interesting to hear, because I feel like there's so many people that resonate with that. By the way, real quick, I just want to know, like, everybody watching this right now, let me know in the comments, is there anybody in here who is an integrator? or if you are a visionary looking for an integrator, please let me know in the comments as well. I'd love to see who we have in here and kind of get an idea on what you guys need. Because I feel like when I reflect back on when I started in real estate, I was the guy doing all the things. I was the guy wearing all the hats. I was making calls, but that's what I love to do. But I was also doing like all the integration stuff and trying to figure out how the systems work and how to automate this stuff and how this is going to go over here. And dude, oh my gosh, like I was doing the things that I should not have been doing. And with your story, like I feel like so many people resonate with that. And I know I personally, it was part of my personal story. Because it's such a huge testament, man. Like there are people out here that are calling. Like talk about that for a second. Talk about how, and I remember Haley telling me about this, but you guys got into real estate, and from your perspective, you were like, in order for me to go make money, then I've got to go make some calls. Tell me about that really quick. Because there's probably a lot of people who are watching this right now and will be watching this in the future that are sitting here saying, yeah, Jesse, isn't that what you're supposed to be doing?
No, that's exactly what it was. From my perspective, when we first started out, was I need to get myself to the point where I am a consistent closer. That's what I need to do. But in order to get there, I need to get on the phone and start making calls. And I need to start getting those leads in. And then I need to figure out how to close those leads and then, connect the dots from there. Never did I think that this was what I was going to be doing. And the irony is I didn't even figure it out on the real estate side. How
did you feel about closing, about making those calls? Did you enjoy
aspect,
it?
No.
Were you
not
consistent
the
with
aspect.
it?
No, not the closing aspect.
Why not?
Calling the leads, I didn't have faith in myself for it. I didn't feel as though it was something that I was good enough at, and I didn't think I was going to be able to catch up to those skills. It's kind of like it was the edge of the universe sitting there. I was trying to grab for it, but it just kept going and going and going. So I was never going to reach it. I was great at getting on and building rapport with sellers. I was great at actually converting them into a lead, but that's as far as it went.
Was that something that you enjoyed doing? Did you enjoy the cold calling part? Like, forget the closing side of things. Did you enjoy walking upstairs, hammering the phones all day, saying, "Hey, Haley, I'm going to be upstairs for the next 3 hours, making some calls"? You didn't enjoy that?
Not at all. And I didn't like other people hearing it either. Like, I did exactly what you were just saying. I would go upstairs and I would lock myself in a room in the quiet, making those calls. I didn't want Haley hearing it. I didn't want to be going live on Facebook doing videos of calling, cold calling sellers or any of that. That's not something that's me.
It doesn't give you energy.
No.
It's not something that you're like, yes, this is the thing that I'm going to focus on.
I dreaded. I was like, oh, I got to go make 100 calls today. I just have to do it. I need volume. But it was so bad. And it took me 20 minutes to build up the courage to make the first call. And then after about 15 calls, I tell myself, okay, I need a 15-minute break. Then I take a 15-minute break, and then it would take me another 15 to 20 minutes to build up the courage to make the first call for that second set.
Wow, dude.
So bad.
What you're saying is so impactful right now. Thank you for sharing this. Like, this is like the level of detail that I think a lot of people need to hear, because there's a lot of people out there right now that jump into real estate. They see the possibilities. They see what you can do. They see the way that they can change their lives. But I think the part that most people are missing once they jump into here is understanding where do they start. And for most people, they think that that's the thing that they need to end up doing, is they need to go do exactly what you're doing. And it's like, it's so frustrating, because whether that is weeks or months or even years go by, you go back and it's like, man, I'm just not where I want to be yet, or I'm still trying to get my first deal, or whatever the case is. But when you go back, if you could actually go back if everybody was to document their habits on what they did. And to your point, James, like how much time is spent wasted trying to summon the enthusiasm to make that next call? Like, what's the accumulation of that over time versus the amount of calls that were actually made, conversations that were made, all that kind of stuff. So fast forward. So that's where you started. Not once were you ever like, oh my gosh, this is what I need to be doing. It was always a dreadful thing. You and I have a conversation and you kind of end up pivoting and you kind of start playing to your strengths and start finding a niche that aligns with what your interests are and what you actually want to be doing and how you want to monetize that skill. Tell me a little bit about what that pivot made. And then I want to hear what you and James have going on, because what you guys have is something that is so unique, and I think it's going to help out a lot of people. But I wanted to really give some context if there's anybody else that's going through this right now. I see you guys. Let me go before you answer that real quick. Let me go through here. We got a Facebook user that is a visionary here looking for an integrator. You've come to the right place, my friend. Same here, visionary wearing all the hats. Been there. That's something I can definitely help you with. Luke is yes and no. Yeah, Luke's kind of a unicorn, man. Luke is a hybrid. Yeah. He's a visionary with an engineer mind. So I know what a good process looks like, but the implementing part is harder. Okay. Right now, to get my room rentals going on as many platforms as possible. Okay. Awesome. So we have some integrators in here. And I just wanted to give some context to anybody. If you guys are doing the same thing, if you guys are making calls or doing the thing that doesn't drive you and give you energy, then listen to this next part. James, go ahead, man. Tell me about that transition, like, and how did that change your day to day and the momentum you started getting and the money you started making?
So to put it into perspective, when I was focusing on wholesaling, trying to wear all of the hats, it took me a year to lock up my first wholesale deal. And then from there, and I don't care what anybody says, there's no overnight success. It's not real. It took me a year to lock that deal up. And then it took another year to get that fully across the finish line and closed and paid out. And you guys have heard the bits and pieces of that story all the way through a majority of that year. So when you and I had jumped on, Chris and I had jumped on, and at that point, I was trying to go from wearing all the hats in the wholesale business to, the next big hot thing is being a connector. I'm good at talking to people. I'm good at building rapport. Let me connect other people to other people. That was another thing I went about wrong. I went full force into it, overloaded myself. You had told me to bring myself back. I had way too much going on. I had a vision for what I wanted to do, potentially on the integrator side of real estate. It was still out of grasp. Trying to do the connector, I was also trying to build up another wholesale team. You had told me to take it back, shut everything down, pick that one thing. I picked connector. And then a month later, when we had another conversation, this time was you, myself, and Carlin on a Zoom after talking to Carlin the week before that. And I took a look at what you guys had for a system and the vision that you guys had for the Growth Co. And within 10 minutes of being inside that system, I just had a flood of ideas that came to mind. And I was just like, dude, there's so much that we can do with this. I had fun just brainstorming what we can do with the system. I was like, okay, this is where I need to be. Like, I haven't had this much excitement in a long time. And it was history from there. We jumped on that call. We started talking about it. I started getting some of the basics set up. And then within a month and a half, I had already got my first check. I'm like, dude, I enjoy this. My first month and a half, I already got a check that was almost half the amount of my wholesale check that took me 2 years. Mind you, I still hadn't even seen a wholesale check yet at that point. I'm like, I'm a year and a half in.
Right.
Still haven't even
And
seen it. I've already gotten a check a month and a half into this.
Haley threw an interesting statistic out here as well. She said we made 27 cents on a $15,000 wholesale check.
Yes.
So that was 27 cents an hour.
An
20,
hour.
the amount of time that you guys spent trying to get a wholesale deal done.
Yes.
When
It
you
equated
break
to
that up,
27 cents an hour.
wow.
And people don't think that way either in business as well. But it also puts in the perspective of the amount of people that chase the paycheck rather than chasing the success.
Yeah, 100%.
And we've talked
dude.
about that before in another podcast as well. And I feel like that was the biggest pivot that I've made from having conversations with you, Carlin, Chris, some of our team meetings for both of those businesses. Is I stopped chasing the paycheck, started chasing the success. And when you're chasing success with other people, it can take you very far.
Absolutely. And you're only focused on one thing. And it's the thing that you're naturally good at.
Yes. And it was the thing I didn't think was going to get me where I am.
You know what's funny is that, like, in my mind, this is the way that I like to think about it. If people can have clarity on what their natural gifts are, and then just find a way to monetize that. Like, don't go do all the things. Go find a way to monetize that, because, and I'll use myself and James as an example real quick. I was a visionary, and I was busy doing all the things. And then once I gained clarity on what my superpower is and the one thing I should be focusing on, then here's the interesting part. I started almost building it for all you guys who are married out here, especially all the guys. Like, you guys get exactly what I'm about to say. Has your wife, your spouse, ever sent you, to Walmart or something and given you like a big honey-do list? Does that ever happen? That happens to me all the time. It's like, man, hey, Jesse, I need you to go to Walmart. We're going to have lasagna for dinner. I need you to get this kind of meat. It's got to be an 80-20 split. We got to get these noodles. We got to get cheese. We got to blah, 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 blah. Like, and it's not even just that, dude. Like, she gets so detailed. It's got to be this brand of cheese, and it's got to be this version of the cheese. And it's got to, like, she gives me so specific details of what I need to get. Now, for those of you guys who have experienced this is how you need to think about your business. As you guys are here sitting here listening to James describe the pivot that he made, he was over here doing all the wrong things, wearing all the hats, hoping that something was going to pay off. It's literally the equivalent of walking into Walmart and saying, hey, I'm going to grocery shop for dinner. I know my wife said she was going to make dinner, but I have no idea what she wants. So I'm just going to wander into Walmart or walk over to the bakery. Maybe I'll grab a handful of things. We'll try this. And then I'll walk down a few aisles. Maybe we'll grab a few things over here. And you literally, you end up wandering around the store aimlessly, hoping to figure out something that your wife's going to be able to intentionally make for dinner. You're going to get home and she's going to be like, what the hell are you doing? This is nothing. None of this has, you don't even put any of the stuff in lasagna. What are you doing over here? Why did you get all this? And that's the equivalent of how we own and operate and run our businesses. We literally are doing all the things with no rhyme or reason, no intention, no idea on what we need to do. And when you see people that start doing this, you know what they're doing? They're taking the path of least resistance. The only way that you know what that path of least resistance is to understand what you're good at, what skills do you bring to the marketplace. If you're listening to this, write this down right now. The money that you bring in every single month is in direct reflection of the caliber of skill that you bring to the marketplace. If you're not focused on one thing, success leaves clues. And what's really interesting, the reason I brought up that Walmart example is because if I know what I'm good at, and I know what I'm not good at, if I know the one thing I'm going to focus on, then that means I'm not doing any of the integrator stuff. I'm not trying to do what James does. I mean, I don't even understand when he's explained it to me. Can you imagine me trying to figure this out by myself? I'm like, no, that's not even a good fit.
I don't even understand.
Dude, James Hostert, man. I'm gonna have to start referring to Jay-Z as Jimmy Neutron so we can have this distinction here. And you guys can call me Jesse James, by the way. So we got Haas, you're doing a lot of things, dude. Even you, dude, like this, a lot of the things that you're doing, like I have no idea what to do. I know it needs to get done. I know it's a big part of the business. Yeah. But instead of me trying to figure out how to do those things, the way you need to be looking to build and scale a business is finding other people that are doing what you want to be doing. So in a way, James is building out a grocery list, metaphorically speaking here. And on that grocery list, he has one each visionary on there. Yeah. Same with Jimmy Neutron. And then when you walk into Walmart, it's like, oh, I'm just going to go over here. Let me go to the water cooler where all the visionaries are hanging out. Let me go find one that aligns with what I'm trying to do. And let's leverage each other. Let's leverage each other's skills. Let's work together. Let's do some really cool things. And in a way, like James and Jimmy Neutron were both individuals that were on my shopping list. And I was an individual that was on theirs. And we've been able to do some really, really cool stuff together. And to Jimmy Neutron's point, it's allowed him to wake up every day and just feel so refreshed and blissful and happy and be in this magnetic and abundant state and be able to make money doing the thing that he loves to do. Yeah. James, is there anything that you want to add to that, or anything from your experience that you want to share with everybody that is in alignment with just what we're talking about right here?
So, no, I love. There's one thing. So there's I love all the points you're bringing up, Jesse. I absolutely love it. Being intentional is one of the best things, most beneficial things you can do for your business. And I've been hearing this since, we started jumping into the entrepreneurial mindset, that the world, being intentional has been something that we've been seeing consistently. And until you do it, you don't really see the benefits. Jesse, you can do what we do. 100%. Tell me you can't. You're a motivated mind. You have a motivated mindset. I know you're stubborn. I know you can get the job done. You could do what we do if you put some time into it, right? But it wouldn't be the best use of your time. It wouldn't, because you, unlike anyone I've ever met, just have a way with clicking with people and energizing people around you. That is something that would take me decades to figure out. And so what I'm trying to say is, in a roundabout way, it's something that took a while for me to figure out, because I was also wearing all the hats. We can all do, we can do anything. You can put your mind, if you put your mind to it, you can do it. 100%. I have 100% faith. Haley, you could be a closer. 100%. But is that the best use of your time? No. Like Jesse was saying, you make the equivalent of what you offer. And some of us have different traits. Not everyone is the closer. I was damn good at closing. I'd like to say I was the best, but I've heard Jesse close people, and I don't know if that's the case anymore. But I'd like to say I was the best damn closer out there. I had some very good conversations. I've had some amazing mentors, but that's not what I was the best at. Just because I was good at it doesn't mean I was, great at it. And what you need to do is you need to focus on something that you're great at, because that's where you're going to see the results. That's where you're going to see I'm waking up every single morning and I effing love it. That's James waking up energized. He's doing something he's great at, not something he's good at. And so finding your who and finding what everyone's capable of everything. And everyone's always saying, and especially when you get in the real estate space, You need to call people. You need to put in the effort. Effort is amazing. Get an A for effort, but that's only one grade out of the 9 grades that you get. Right? You're one class, so you could still flunk with an A. So you need to find what you're great at, and you need to focus on it, and you need to apply it. And so I just love everything that you guys said, and I just we're not saying it by any means that you're not capable of doing anything as good as the next person. There's a time, there's a I guess time buffer or time amount of effort that you have to put in to be able to. I'm not going to be as good at pace at closing. I could be. I guarantee you I could be. Give me 10 years and give me time, I'll be able to do it. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to make now money. And now money comes from something that you're great at now. And we all have that. We all have a skill. And so I love what you guys said. And I think that I don't know. I don't know how else to put it. I just think that everyone here.
No, you said it great,
skills.
dude. Yeah. It's all about taking the path of least resistance here. Most people, just as humans, we have this innate ability to just overcomplicate the ever-living shit out of things. And we start putting things unnecessarily in our way instead of simplifying things. And this is such a great example on where you need to start. James, real quick, Jay-Z, Jimmy Neutron, what advice do you have for Sean Clark? As Hostert was kind of talking about how all of us wake up and why we wake up that way, Sean says, that's the way I want to wake up. What advice do you have for him? If you can answer this real quick, and then I want to get into the specifics of what the two of you have going on and where you guys are going to be able to serve that niche and those individuals, because it's a big thing that there's a big hole in that field.
I would love to see a little bit more about what Sean Clark actually has going on. But I would say find that thing that you're good at, and then find your passion in that. Your passion's what's going to get you there, to be honest. Case in point, just real quick, is I've actually been teaching somebody some more of the in-depth stuff on the integration side, who, when we first started having conversations, would consistently tell me to talk on a first grade level. And just in the last couple months,
You outing me, bro?
No, not you, but close, very close. As I've been teaching this person more and more, and like they already have an understanding of HTML on the light side. They have an understanding on how some of the workflows and things are working. And I've been watching the excitement as she's been learning more and more and implementing, just that excitement.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you need to be.
Well, tell me more about that, because from what I can tell, you and James have done an amazing job of creating that environment.
Yes, we have.
Sean also says he's in New Hampshire. Have you connected with Sean?
I don't believe we have. Yeah, we're in New Hampshire, Sean. Shoot Haley a message. Maybe we can meet up. Good.
Small world.
Very small world.
It's crazy.
From Alaska to New Hampshire today. That's interesting. Angel says, passion is everything. I think I'm good at a lot of things, but not a lot of them make me want to get out of bed every day, excited to get started.
Yes. I mean, we're all good at many things. Everything. Yeah. Yep. Angel's an amazing person. Just put that out there.
She's a unique individual. I haven't seen a dang thing that woman does that isn't spectacular. But I'll tell you what, she is damn good. Pardon my language. She's dang good at managing and just the TC side of things. She's got a brain on her. Holy buckets.
100%, bro. Angel's amazing. Actually, dude, speaking of Angel, dude, Facebook user says, Jesse, do people need to live close together, like in the same state, to partner up with? I truly believe I need to partner up, and I need advice on how to find each other. You know, networking is the greatest thing anybody can do. I don't know who this is. Can you guys let me know in the comments who this is? I'd love to be able to address you personally. Everybody on this screen right now, from New Hampshire, James Hossert's in New Mexico. I'm in Alaska. My business partner, Chris James, is in Rochester, New York. Angel is in Kentucky. None of us live anywhere near each other. And we are all doing amazing things together. We are all making money together. There's a saying, your vibe attracts your tribe. And if you're not putting yourself out there, if people don't know about you and what it is you're trying to do, and you haven't made the effort or intention to put yourself out there, then you need to. Like Jimmy Neutron was saying, he and I first got connected. I think it was in August or September last year, wasn't it?
October.
It wasn't October when we first.
No, it was earlier. Yeah, it was July. Because that was around the time that we went on our family vacation. Woo!
Yeah, we initially had a conversation, exchanged some feet pics, made it awkward. Yeah, it was either September or October. But what we ended up doing, how we ended up getting connected, was through a Calendly link. Like I threw my Calendly out there. Even right now, if you guys want to connect with me, shoot me a PM right now, and I'll send you my Calendly. Like we can talk. But that's why I ended up doing. I put my Calendly link out there and said, hey guys, I'd just love to connect with you, hear about what you guys have going on. Where can we get intentional? And Jay-Z booked a call.
Yeah,
and I got to learn more about what his strengths were, what his skills were, what his goals were. And I was able to find alignment with the thing that he was really, really good at and how this fits into what I was trying to do as well. And it was mutually beneficial. I was able to be the person that he was looking for to get to where he was trying to go. And so if people don't know about you, then you're not doing a good job putting yourself out there. So I would take some time and build a Calendly link if you don't already have one. And I would probably block out maybe an hour of your day. Try an hour a day. If you can do an hour a day, and it can be anytime you want, whatever's most convenient for you, because consistency is going to be the key thing here. Consistency will beat out talent every single time, regardless of what it is you guys are trying to do. If some things are holding you guys back, and it's holding you back because you feel like you're not in the right skill set, you're not in the right mindset, you're not worthy of this, you don't feel like you know enough, there's somebody else. I want you to think about this real quick, guys. There is somebody else that is less qualified than you, that is doing the very thing that you want to be doing, and they are making a lot of money doing it simply because they believe in themselves more. Put yourself out there. Go build a Calendly link. Break it up into 2 30-minute sections and go network with 2 new people a day. And don't talk about you. Talk about them. Be there to serve. I think Haley said their name was August. That's what I'm understanding. So August, if I'm understanding Haley's comment right, that's what I would do. That's where I would start. Jay-Z or Haas, you guys got any advice or anything else to add or anything different?
I have a little nugget to add in there. And one of my biggest takeaways from not only going out to the Aspire event, but also between the very first conversation that I had with you and Chris to 2 months later, that next conversation that I had with you, one of the biggest things that I'm seeing, and I'm guilty of doing this completely wrong as well, when people are trying to connect and they're throwing their Calendlys out there. It's a two-parter. One is be intentional, so know what you're showing up to talk about. But the second thing is, if you're the one making that connection or setting that call up, go into it in the aspect of how and not what. My biggest mistake, the very first conversation with Chris and Jesse, the reason I felt as though it was awkward is because I went in and I was like, I'm pretty good at a lot of things, but what do you guys need help with? How can I fit in? What do you guys need help with? And that's what I kept asking. So while I was doing that, what I didn't realize at the time is I was putting my problem on your guys' plate. By asking what you need help with, I am now forcing you to figure out how I can monetize. And it shouldn't be that way when making a connection. Go into it. This is what I do. How can I serve you? Not what can I do to help you guys? What do you have? What do you need help with? Because now I'm making you think about it.
Dude, what a killer little golden nugget right there, bro.
Damn.
Dude, that was amazing. Thank you for sharing that. What a terrific piece of advice for people starting to network and build these relationships. Thank you. Now let's talk about you guys. What do you guys have going on? You guys are filling a space that really nobody else is. I feel like there's way more visionaries than there are integrators and operations guys.
Yeah.
You guys are filling a niche that nobody really has resources to. Nobody understands how to take their skill as an integrator and 10x that skill and monetize that skill. And I love what you guys are doing. Talk about your guys' group. Talk about what you guys have going on.
Absolutely. And there's also a lot of people that feel as though they may be visionaries, but didn't realize until recently that they may actually be an integrator. So we actually did just create a Facebook group within a week ago, starting to blow up way faster than I even anticipated. We are creating that space for like-minded individuals on the integrator side, whether you're already an integrator, you feel as though you want to be an integrator, but want to know and understand what that role is. And maybe you're a visionary that's looking for an integrator. We kind of put that space together to bridge all three of those gaps.
Yeah.
We have some things in the work as well that we have coming. We're drop the bomb right now. We're actually working on a masterclass. It's going to be a 2-day thing that covers all of those. When it comes to the integrator space, they're the same as real estate. You find it in Sub 2, you find it in most of the other groups. There are avatars. There are different types of integrators. James and I both collectively are integrators when it comes to visionary integrator, but we're two different types.
That's
James
interesting.
Yeah.
Very
James-
I
different.
don't think most people understand that there are multiple types of integrators. I'd
Yeah.
never even heard that until I started talking with you. And it's so imperative that you have that fundamental understanding. Again, this whole thing comes back to clarity, because until you understand what your skill is and the avenue that you need to be in to monetize that with the path of least resistance, like none of this makes sense. Ooh, real quick, before you define that, Facebook user said, can you please define an integrator? Can you define an integrator and then discuss the different types of integrators there are?
Absolutely. The easiest way to define it is you have the two sides of a business is visionary and integrator. Visionary is the person that comes up with a lot of the ideas. The integrator is the person that makes all of that happen and makes it all possible. So they're the ones that control your systems, your processes. They manage all of your operations. They manage the people within your business.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. There's and this is something too that I recently learned as well, that the differences between integrators, because James, being the expert that he is damn good at managing processes, systems, all that technical stuff. And I cannot. I'm a rocket scientist that cannot figure out how to post properly on his entrepreneurial Facebook page. All right. I can't do it. I'm more in line with Jesse when it comes to the technicality side, like the systems and stuff, than I am with James. But there's also a different side where if we talk about asset based, where I shine. I'm more familiar with managing assets, with managing processes than I am with managing programs. So just because, and this is the thing that so many people, when they're looking for an integrator, and what we talked about earlier, if you're not specific or you're not intentional with who you're talking to, and don't go into the conversation like James said, with the idea of seeing, with an intention to the conversation, whereas it's like, how can I help you? If you are an integrator talking to a visionary, you'll be like, oh yeah, I'm great for, I'm an integrator. I'll be able to figure this out. No problem. But because of your skill sets, you could completely insert yourself into a business. If I inserted myself in something that, where James shines, I'd be screwed. I'd be absolutely screwed. There'd be a miserable result. I would be able to figure it out. It would just be a lot more time. People would lose money. It just wouldn't be an ideal situation. But if you insert yourself into a position where if you're like, I know how to manage assets. I know how to manage people. I know how to, I know how to figure out how to buy this property. I can freaking do it. I know how to buy properties or whatever it is. If you're focused and you guys align, visionary integrator side of things, there's nothing you can't do. You just there's so many different types of integrators, and I'm willing to bet that there's a ton of visionaries out there that are listening to this right now that are actually integrators. It's a different type. 100%. And I guarantee you, and I said this earlier, you are good, but I bet you could be great. 100%.
Absolutely. Luke, I believe it's Neatfield. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. But I believe your partner and I have actually had a couple of interesting conversations as far as what James was just talking about. So, Luke, I feel as though we will be on a phone call very soon, the three of us.
What do you guys think about Megan's comment right here? She said, I've been having to do everything because it is hard to find willing integrators. Think they're all being taken because there's a shortage of them.
Everyone wants to be a visionary. It's the glory.
Yeah,
well, that's the way people see it. It's a glory. But that doesn't mean you're a visionary. Like, just because you want it to be true doesn't mean that it is true. And that might be something hard to accept. But that might be the difference between you making $100,000 a year or 150 million. Is just, like, we are all stubborn, 100%. But I'm willing to bet there's as many visionaries, and I'm not willing to bet everything on it, but I'm willing to bet almost everything that there's 50-50 integrator visionaries. But what we see is, I'm a visionary. It's all up here. I'm coming up with the business. Like, yeah, you thought up the business because you were sick of where you're at, right? But that doesn't mean and this is just harsh me speaking. Military coming out.
You think it's kind of like in their head a little bit?
Yeah, you didn't like where you were
Sometimes
at.
You'll see it in the movies. Like, you'll have somebody who will like have an attitude or something like that, and they'll be like, "Oh, don't bother, dear. I'm 1/8 Italian." it's like, oh, that's why. It's like it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Because you're 1/8 Italian. That's why you think you're copying an attitude. And so some people, they have it in their head, well, I wake up or I have thoughts of this, so I must be a visionary. But you're saying you think realistically there's probably a very fair comparison, but there's probably a lot of people who either don't have the clarity and know that they are an integrator or some sort of hybrid like Luke is. Luke's got tendencies for both, which is really interesting. It's neat for him to be able to see things from that perspective. I am so far a visionary that I don't have the ability to see what James is looking at, what Jay-Z is looking at. If he's telling me something, and you and I were on a phone call yesterday or the day before, we were talking about some system stuff, and I was like, James, I'm going to be honest with you, dude. Like, I don't really understand this, but the reason I brought you on is because you do. And if you're telling me it's this way, then I'm going to trust you. It's this way. And I don't have that ability to understand and see things what James is seeing. So I think my lucky stars for both of these individuals and the ability I have to be able to work with them, because their skills and the way that they see their role in the business, and because of how they think, like none of those things can't be replicated. We are where we are in a lot of the things that we're doing collectively together because of who the two of you are and the clarity that you guys have. And I'm just so grateful that we can come together in a way and do some really neat things. To Megan's point, Megan, and I feel this so hard in my soul. Like, where are all the integrators at? Dude, talk about that for a second. Where can people go? Where you guys have created the water cooler, and you guys are saying, hey, if you're an integrator, come hang out. Come hang out.
We actually, we have that Facebook group that we just created. I'm already having some top-notch conversations. We have some really amazing people that have been coming into that group, both on the visionary side and the integrator side. And if you're okay with it, we can actually have Haley, who's sitting there helping navigate everything for everybody in the comments. She could actually throw the link out there for everybody for that group.
Please do it. And what's the name of it for everybody who's watching on like YouTube? Because we're streaming to a handful of different. I think we're streaming to like eight or nine different areas, and including a couple different like YouTube channels and things like that. So, what's the name of it so people can jump in and join?
So it's called Systems in Sync, and it
not
will
like
be
the band.
In Sync.
No, that's Britney.
Right, not in sync, not Justin Timberlake. We're not talking about Justin Timberlake. You're talking about the like IN SYNC.
Yes, and I chose that name very carefully because when you type it in to look for the group, it will be the only one that pops up. It'll be first right there.
Awesome. Well, the name of the Facebook group is Systems in IN, not in sync, but Systems in Sync. Integrations and operations for real estate investors. That is the name of the group.
Yes.
Guys, get in there.
And Megan, to double back on that too, to a little bit more clarity for an answer for you as well. There is not a shortage of integrators. As we've been discussing so far, the big issue that I see is there's no clarity when people are discussing it. So when you're looking for the integrators, be clear on what exactly you're looking for in the integrator. And a very good case in point is for the Growth Co. They actually had an integrator before me who was a different type of integrator with a different skill set. And then that's where I was able to step in and kick that off. So just be clear, be intentional, and be open about it.
Thank you for pointing that out, dude. That's such an important distinction to make. And again, I didn't realize all this until you and I had a conversation about it. Because from my mind, like we brought in an integrator into our coaching business to be able to handle and do a lot of the system stuff, be able to help out with a lot of like and build out the entire back end for the curriculum and the community and all that kind of stuff. And I just thought in my mind, I was like, oh, well, we just need an integrator. Obviously, a visionary is not going to have these skills. I know that I need to be looking for an integrator. And so to Jay-Z's point, we ended up hiring an integrator. But then after we got rolling into it, it wasn't the right kind of integrator that we were looking for. She was an integrator in a little bit different way. I don't even know how I would describe it. Do you even know? I mean, Jay-Z, I don't even know if you know who that individual was or what kind of integrator she was, but it was a different kind of integrator.
So she would have been more. So the two basic types of integrators, and this is why James and I, James Squared, we're dubbing it.
James Square.
That's our thing, James Squared. The reason we accent each other so well is the two basic types are operational and systematic. I'm systematic. James is operational. That integrator before would have been more on the operational side. They didn't really like building the systems out, but they did like overseeing them. So in a sense, there's still an integrator, just a different type of integrator.
100%. And it took us kind of going through a little bit of trial and error to be able to figure that out. And then when you and I had a conversation, it was like, oh, this was the missing link. This was what I was missing. So in short, in like maybe one or two sentences, Haas, what can people expect from joining your guys' group? I mean, I know you guys have a masterclass coming on that's going to be here shortly in a few months. What can people get out of it? Like what are people going to find in your guys' group?
So if it comes down to someone who's looking for an integrator or whether or not it's an integrator themselves, they'll be able to identify more so where they're going to fall in line. So James had said something earlier about systematic and operational. So those are two very crucial roles or avatars for avatars, right? So coming into this master class or this group, you're going to be able to figure out more so where you align to be able to input yourself into a visionary's, vision, or just be able to connect with other like-minded individuals to where you can really, outperform where you're currently at. Because most of the time when people are looking for integrators, what they'll do is they'll just look for any integrator they can. And the first one that's really damn good at their job, I got to stop saying that, really dang good at their job, right? They're gonna put themselves in a position where it's like, okay, yeah, let's partner up. Let's do this. Let's, just like you did, Jesse, with your previous integrator that you guys were working with. But that didn't work out. And if anything, it prevented you from moving forward. So within this group, we're going to be offering the skills and the knowledge to be able to put themselves in the right situations to where these integrators who maybe thought they were visionaries, but they took the integrator out, or they stepped into the integrator space, found out they failed miserably because they put themselves in the wrong spot. And then they went back to something that really didn't suit them, or they went on to another role where they're really an integrator and they just didn't put themselves in the right spot. It's like a puzzle. You got to fit in the right spot. If you don't, you're just forcing it and it's not going to look right. So this group is going to provide skills. We're going to work. There's a mindset that comes with it. There's a spiritual side. There's all sorts of things, right, that you need to be in line with to be able to really perform at your peak, especially as an integrator, because a lot falls on your shoulders. Just like as a visionary, a lot falls on your shoulders to grow the company. You have that vision. We don't. But we have the know-how, whereas the visionary doesn't.
100%.
So that's what we're going to be focusing on, is trying to really hone those skills, really provide guidance where it needs to happen, and provide the network opportunity to where these people can connect and find each other, the right people for the right integrator for the right visionary.
Thank you, bro. I saw Megan's comment and I was like, what comment is Haley talking about? Finding a good integrator is harder than finding toilet paper in 2020.
Korea had tons of toilet paper. I didn't get an experience of that. I'm just saying.
Dude, I'd be the one hogging all the good integrators. That's why there isn't any.
That's why so much of my time is taken up.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for sharing this, man. This was really awesome. I think it was really important for people to be able to understand the different parts to a business in order to actually build and scale a business. I can't tell you how many times, especially jumping into real estate, that first year, especially, it took me a year to get my first deal. It was in Memphis, Tennessee. I made $1,200 off of it. Never did the math. I guarantee you guys probably worked a little bit, because you guys were even doing it full time. I wasn't doing it full time. And so, gosh, dang, dude, 27 cents an hour. That is insane, bro. Wow, that is crazy. It's interesting because you got a lot of people that they don't want to do this. They don't want to partner up. They don't want to find other ways to collaborate or bring other people into the business because in their head they're like, well, then I have to split the money. But what they don't understand is what the impact is of being able to 10x with other individuals. I mean, when you're trying to do it all yourself, I mean, yeah, that's great. You go make $10,000 or $15,000 and you get the entire thing. But what was the cost of it? When you start reverse engineering that, is like, what did you have to do that? What was that the highest and best use of your time? You worked 27 cents an hour. That's crazy.
Yeah. And it was the same in the beginning. It was, I want to maximize, so I don't really want to be reaching out to too many people and either waste my time or waste their time if I don't have anything set in stone. But, you learn collaboration is key. Collaboration gets you way farther than competition.
Dude, you know what's funny, dude? When you get to this side of the road, because we were talking about this side of the road a little earlier, and when you pivot from how a lot of us were raised to think about money, to think about scarcity, to think about failure, and you come to this side of the road, dude, all the people that are making money, they're all collaborating. It's everybody at the fucking bottom down here that's all competing against each other. It's everybody down here that has the scarcity mindset, that's wanting to keep everything for themselves, that will close 2 deals a year just so they can keep the entire thing. And they'll stay on that hamster wheel until they grow out of it, until they see things from a different perspective, from an elevated perspective. It's such a, man, what a crazy experience, man. I'm so grateful that I've had the opportunity to learn that both of you had the opportunity to learn that we're all in here doing this together. We're doing what we love. We're serving the people around us. We're making money together. We're making an impact. Any last words or anything you guys would love to add before we let everybody go for the day?
Yeah. I'll leave them with this. So I'm stubborn. Just ask Carlin. I'm super stubborn. I would classify
Let's ask Carlin about that.
I would classify myself as a class A. I'm stubborn as crap. I didn't want to work with anybody. I hated the idea because of that same thing you just said, Jesse. You got to split it. I would rather. I wanted to just do everything myself because I'm damn good at everything I do, and that was something that I had believed to my core. I would say that once I realized I can't do it myself and that I had a particular set of skills, I had said this at the beginning. I had a goal of 10 properties last year. I almost 10x my 10x, which was the 10 properties because I just wanted one realistically.
In 3 months.
In 3 months. So whatever you think, if you're stubborn like me and you just want to do it yourself because you want all the skills, you want to be able to master all the skills, you want to be the Pace Morby, you want to be the Grant Cardone, you want to be the visionary that gets all the glory. That might not be your place. And that's okay. But Cody Barton's still driving a Lamborghini, and he's Pace Morby's partner. He's the integrator. He's still driving a Lamborghini. He's still he's doing all those things. It's just not under the spotlight. So just really accept who you are, physically, spiritually, mentally, and just be the best you can be. It doesn't matter if you're an integrator or a visionary, you go for it, but just be intentional. That's all.
Dude, I literally have goosebumps, bro.
Yeah.
Literally, my hair's standing up, dude. That was great, man. Thank you.
100%. I love that, James, by the way. But yeah, if anything, that intentionality, it's key. Listening to the story of all three of us and seeing where we came from to where we are right now. There's a lot of case in points, and a lot of backing. So everything that we've talked about, we're all open books, and you've gotten to see it. We're not coming in here and we're just saying, oh, my past was my past. For a lot of us, you've been able to see our story firsthand. If you're in any one of the groups, or if you've been following any of the podcasts, just remember your skill is needed. It doesn't matter where you sit on the spectrum, so to speak. Your skill is needed. Get out there, hone in, find your passion, hone in on it, craft it. Find somebody that needs your skill, and you'll prevail.
Love that, dude. I Prevail. Isn't that a band name?
Yes, it is.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Good music too.
It is great music. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys. Thank you guys for being here. For those of you guys who missed it or wasn't here in the morning, I guess an hour and 20 minutes ago. For those of you guys who don't know, I'll just say this one last time real quick, just as a quick FYI for anybody who's interested. You've heard the three of us kind of talk about how collaboration is key in this business, how you go much further. Not only are you impacting lives, you're changing your own life. You're changing your own life financially, and other people are able to do some really neat things financially because of what you will end up doing. And I was always raised to think about money. My mom always used to tell me, you guys probably heard this a million times now, but it's worth repeating. My mom used to tell me that I could not use a 4-letter word in her house. Now, when she said 4-letter word, she's talking about a cuss word. I do not cuss in my mama's house. And as I started going from this side of the road to this side of the road, when I look back on how I was raised to think, and when we all talk about money was a 4-letter word for me in my house. It's something we didn't talk about. You didn't ask somebody how much money they were making. You didn't talk about or ask somebody how to go make more money. It was always just understood that you worked your way, you busted your ass, you did the best that you could. You worked 40, 50 hours a week for 40, 50 years, and then you retire. That was it. That was it. Anybody who had money or anybody who was rich was seen as greedy. They were looked down on. They were money grubbers. They were not good people. But then coming to this side of the road, there's part of this transformation that has to happen. In order to make more money, you have to quite literally become an entirely different person. You have to completely think differently. You have to operate differently. You have to have a completely different threshold. Your accountability has to be different. Your relationship ability has to be different. The way that you communicate has to be different. You quite literally have to become an entirely different person, an elevated person, a nicer person. Because in order to go and make all this money with all the people that are collaborating at the top, you have to know how to serve other people. So all these people that are down here at the bottom, they're the ones that are living in scarcity. Everybody up here is living in abundance and love and servitude. And that's how you make more money.
Mind blowing.
It impacts a lot of people. We do a lot of really amazing things with money. And for those of you guys who did not hear at the beginning of this episode, one of our family members, our business family members over in the Philippines, who's done some really amazing things, her mother suffered a stroke and she passed away this morning. And she is stuck with a medical bill of $3,500. If there's anybody that would be willing to donate, a dollar, any dollar helps. This is where impact is made. This is where we change lives. This is the neat stuff that a lot of people don't get to see or be part of when it comes to money, is being able to see how this changes people and the impact that it makes, and the servitude, the love, the abundance, everything that goes along with it. So if there's anybody that would be willing to donate $1, $5, $10, whatever you feel that you can, please shoot me a DM. I haven't even talked with her. I don't even know if there's any kind of a fund link set up yet, but I'm going to find out. So if you would be willing to do that, please just shoot me a DM on Facebook, just Jesse R. Stanton. And once there is, I'd be more than happy, willing, and able to shoot that on over to you guys. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for giving us some of your time. Hopefully you guys learned something today. Guys, give some love to the James Squared in the chat. This was amazing. This was awesome. I don't think that there's enough information or content around what it is that you guys are doing, and the servitude that you guys are going to bring to the masses. There's definitely a big gaping hole when it comes to the integration side of things, the operation side of things of this business that people just don't understand. And I think this is really going to help a lot, because you can't have a business without the skill set and the things that you guys bring to it. It's the entire back end. It's the spine of the business, and it needs to be there. And I love what you guys are doing. Thank you both for your friendship. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you for coming in and just sharing with everybody. I really appreciate it. It truly means the world to me. So God bless both you guys. Bless your families. I'm very grateful and humbled for you guys' friendship. So thank you guys. Thank you all.
Same here, brother.
Thank you. And happy Easter.
Happy Easter, everyone.
Easter.
And for Jesse, we do have her PayPal direct link. But
oh, cool.
We'll get a chat going, and we'll try to get something set up that will link to that, so that we can get it in all of the Facebook groups, and maybe put it on this video in YouTube as well.
Awesome.
So appreciate everybody for showing up.
Thank you guys. Love you guys. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thanks for listening to the House of Cards podcast with Chris James and Jesse Stanton. We hope you've enjoyed this episode and have learned something new about real estate investing. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more tips and tricks. And don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss an episode. Until next time.